full set of on-car adjustments. What's up, dude?
What up?
So we've got 0 viewers right now. So we got one now. Oh, just in.
Yeah, we can start.
Just in, dude. Pretty solid. Dude, what? Brian Pico is calling me. Brian, I'm on the SITREP right now. I will have to take your call later, bro. Throwing that out there. Maybe he'll listen later and he'll catch that. So what's going on, buddy?
Oh, living, man. Just got back in from Portland last night. Went to work today, and now I'm on the SITREP. Know how it goes.
It's a whirlwind experience.
Yeah, man. What about you? What's going on down there in Florida?
In the old Florida, the Florida, Braden.
Yes, I'm still surprised I didn't catch that until I was 29 years old.
Yeah, dude, didn't catch it at all. I wonder how many of our viewers caught that. If you're there, comment away. Good. It's busy. Tomorrow is the start of my journey to Bowling Green for Camaro Fest.
That's gonna be awesome. Same spot it was last year.
Yeah, man. It's been at Beach Bend for I think the last 5 or 6 years now. Solid site, solid location. They're gonna be doing the NCM track day at the Corvette Museum racetrack, and that'll be Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday will be Camaro Fest, and we'll have the old autocross. We'll be rocking that again. Can't wait to see what we've got going on there. I've heard from a bird that old Aldinger is going to be coming out, but he will not be in the 1st gen. He will be in a 6th gen.
No kidding. Does he still got the mullet? If he still has the mullet, he has to bring it.
I will make sure I send him a message and say you have to bring the mullet.
Yeah.
He did win that fair and square last year with his I think he ran. What did he end up running? Like a freaking 9?
Just something ridiculous.
His quarter mile line was like a 9 or some freaking like a 9.9 on autocross tires.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous number. Look at that. Our viewership is starting to pop up. You know, maybe we should zoom out on you so they're like your forehead's not scaring people away.
My forehead's OSS, man. I gotta hide it.
I mean, for those of you that are, listening later on Spotify, if you have not physically seen Braden in person or even a picture of him, he has a really large forehead. We're talking like Peyton Manning type size of forehead. And if you were to see him on screen, it might scare you.
All right, man. Well, whenever you're done with the Braden forehead recap, we can get into the UMI recap.
The Braden forehead recap?
Yeah.
We just lost 3 viewers from that. They were not happy with the Braden. They wanted me to continue with the Braden recap.
It's okay. No, I agree with them. Actually, matter of fact, I'll catch you later.
Catch you later. All right. So we a lot of racing went down over the weekend. 2 big events on polar opposite ends of the country. We had the Ultimate Streetcar Association at their 5th event of the year at Portland International Raceway. And then we had the UMI Autocross Challenge at UMI Motorsports Park out on good old Clearfield, Pennsylvania. We had the majority of the OSS team in Pennsylvania, and it turned out to be a really good showing for all of them. Every one of them that was there made the shootout. So Jeff, Chris, Tim, and Brian all made the shootout. And what's even more impressive about them making the shootouts, the fact that like Chris and Tim are in the same class. They're running with each other in order to make that deal. So definitely an awesome event. We'll kind of recap the results there. Super early class for the Autocross Challenge. We had 3rd place with Chris Mulberry in a 73 Vet, still rocking a small block Chevy in that thing. I'll remind everybody, SBC power. Bob Bertelson in the 68 Vet, the Green Mamba. He took 2nd place, and then Ron Scott in 3rd in his white 63. Solid effort by those guys. Big congrats to Ron. In the early class, we had Larry Wolf in a 66 Mustang. This Mustang's badass, too. For those of you on Spotify, it is a red and black. If you haven't seen it before, it's a red and black 66, and it is a cool car. He ended up taking 3rd place. Chris Smith in the Angry Smurf taking second place. And Steve Ike in a 65 Nova, little Chevy 2, bringing home the bacon, first place for early class. Moving into mid-model class, the third place, 87 Mustang of Ryan King. He's a fast driver just about everywhere he goes. Second place, Jason Smith in the 87 Camaro, third gen. And then first place, John Nwangu in the 99 Camaro. And if I butchered the pronunciation of your name, bro, I am so sorry. Moving into the late class. Now, the late class, this is where Chris and Tim and everybody were running. And Chris ran well. First round cone took him out of contention, moving into deeper rounds. But third place was Mikey Albacetti in the 2014 Mustang. Following next in line, second place, good old Timmy Gordon in the 2010 Camaro. Awesome to see him taking second place against a very, very seasoned veteran driver of Mike Casino, who is fast in everything he drives. Kind of cool thing to note here is that Mike and Mikey were co-driving that car. And Tim was able to, he was right there within a couple tenths of the win right there. So congrats to Mike Casino for taking the win, and just a huge shout out for Tim taking second place up there against some really stiff competition. The super late class, Steve Ansey in a 2011 Subaru STI taking third place. Josh Luster, 06 Mitsubishi Evo, and Aaron Shue taking first place in an 06 Evo. They were co-driving that car together, and Aaron Shue brings the win. So, again, congrats to those guys. All right, now, the sport class. This is an interesting little deal here with the way the sport class kind of panned out. Scott Baker comes in with his 04 Mazda RX-8. Jeff Gordon in the 2007 Cone Bolt, second place. Jeff was leading the field going into the shootout, in fast time of the day, going into the shootout in the afternoon. And Jeremiah Thomas in his 2007 Mini Cooper was able to put it all together and got him on the very last lap in the shootout. Really good effort by both those guys with the fastest laps around that course for the day. Impressive nonetheless. And then truck class. Truck class had some neat rides. So in third place, Chris Howell, 2023 Ford. It's badass. It's a ton of work done to it. Stephen Marshall in an 85 S10 taking second place. Really good looking first gen S10, little square body S10. And then in first place, 72 Chevy Blazer of Blake Woolham taking the win home in the truck class. So big congrats to those guys. And again, a shout out for our drivers for being able to bring home, all four of them making the shootout at UMI. So it was definitely awesome. Jeff Gordon, Bing, and Bong, both Tim and Jeff are commenters for tonight. Let's liven things up. Post up comments. Let's kick this into high gear. We're gonna kick it over to Braden here in a second. Let him recap Portland and talk the carnage that was. There was a lot of frustrations from engines to axles to everything in between. So
yeah, man.
I did get a view of that the course, and from I don't remember who it was, but it did look rough. There was a lot of bouncing.
The pad where autocross and the speed stop were going on, it was pretty rough. Optima did good. They worked with what they had. Just unfortunately at the speedway, the place that they had was just not very good for what was going on. It was a great course. Eric and his team always do a good job. But yeah, it was just a rough weekend, man. But to go back to UMI, it was awesome watching. I was following along with the OSS drivers, Chris, Tim, Jeff, out there at UMI.
Chris Brown?
Oh, yeah, Chris Brown. That's what I said. Chris, Tim, Jeff. Yeah, Chris Breezy, Tim, and Jeff. That was awesome. I was a lot of people were following along out at Optima, too. They're like, boys are doing good. I was like, I know, man. They're crushing it. Dude,
it's been a really good year for those guys. They have just really turned it up. And, like Tim made zero changes to the car over the wintertime, dude. He is literally just improving. He's taken that, the old adage is seat time is going to get you there. And he's he's taken that and he's ran like crazy. Jeff made some changes. It took him a couple events to get the car figured out, but since it took him about he ran 2 local events to really kind of get it dialed in. And once he did, dude, he's been on freaking fire.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see those guys at Summit Point here in what about 2 weeks now. Paul Brimmeyer, Iceman. What's going on, buddy?
But dude, so I'm telling you, Portland, I guess it just wasn't the weekend, man. It was I got some notes of some before we get into the nitty gritty. I got some notes of the breakdown. So the saddest one, Tony Phillips and his Bel Air, that was just an all around bad deal. For anybody that doesn't know, kind of lost it going down the back straight at Portland and went into a wall. The car caught fire. So his weekend ended early. It was on the practice road course.
Oh man.
On Saturday evening. So super sad, man. Luckily he was okay. He was able to get out of the car and get away from it. Cause I'm telling you, it was a fire. It was a very large fire. So we had him, Hondo Miller in the Blazer. I'm not exactly sure if anybody's watching that knows exactly what happened to his Blazer. Kind of sounded like it was just falling on his face. So he ended up cutting it short after the Peak Performance Challenge. Ended up leaving. But so Hondo Miller was down. Duke Langley lost some axle bolts in the Corvette on the speed stop. Matt Ramirez, we won't kick Matt Ramirez while he's down, but Matt Ramirez had a tough weekend. Ended up losing the engine, had some fuel issues going into Sunday morning. Oh, okay. So Ricky says, "Is that Hondo Miller, Ricky?" I'm sure it is. But anyway, Ricky, you also had some issues. But what was cool about Ricky is he still needed a run on the speed stop.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of dudes pushed his car up to the start line, and he went and ran it, got his points. And so, I mean, Ricky did good on the weekend. I mean, obviously he got the invite, but it was just sad. But that 280Z was knocking the whole time on the Peak Performance Challenge.
He sent me a video of it. It didn't sound healthy. It sounded like it needed some assistance. Oh man, that sucks. I know exactly how those guys feel. Last year at Muscle on the Mountain at UMI, I watched the oil pressure gauge just slowly drop. Got there and everything was fine and dandy and 40 PSI hot, idle, no issues. By the end of day 1 at idle, it had a weird knock. And it sounded like a rod knock, but I'd push the clutch in and it would stop knocking. So I'm like, oh, no, something with the clutch. No, yeah. It turned out it wasn't. By the end of the day, I had dropped down oil pressure to about 15 PSI hot, idle after a run. And I'm like, this is just weird. And the car was it didn't feel 100%. It didn't feel like it had the power it normally did. And, over the winter that year, I'd done a lot of work to it to, different cam and different heads that had been ported. And we bumped up the rev limiter. I got greedy. Went from, forged bottom end, strong bottom end, but I went from that to, a 63, 6,500 red line to 72. Mm-hmm. And it didn't like 72 red line. And that thing, when I finally got back, pulled that thing apart, I had 2 rod bearings, a cam bearing, and then one of the lifters decided it didn't want to live anymore. Roller stopped rolling and it ground the cam away, and there was metal everywhere. And so fortunately it didn't spin the rod bearing. So I think I'm good. I don't need to replace anything. And I think the crank's still good, but it definitely is going to need a complete go through, and that motor is sitting in boxes on the shelf right now. So I definitely can relate to that frustration and having a motor puke on you or having major issues like that in an event. It's definitely a rough one. So shout out to you guys, man. I'm happy to see you're in good spirits. You guys rock and rolled out there, man. Congrats on Matt taking the W in that. And I don't want to get too deep into it. I'll let you recap the positions and things like that. So.
Yeah, it was just a weekend between axles, spark plugs burning off, all sorts of rough stuff on the weekend. But yeah, we'll go through it. So Outlaw, so Duke Langley came out on top on Outlaw. He was followed by in his 02 Corvette. So he had 399 points out of 400.
Dang, dude, he freaking was right there.
Yeah, he was doing very well as usual. Duke's a really good driver. John Bickford came in second in Outlaw with 397 in his 2020 Tesla, and then Danny Weller in the 2019 ZL1. With Danny Weller got 395, John Bickford got 397. So great weekend for the top three in Outlaw. Duke Langley
that's a those three drivers are freaking fast. That had to have been a good battle to watch. Those
super fun to watch.
Those guys just beat each other up on track.
Yeah, always a blast to watch. And then also those three drivers are also at the top of the Outlaw bracket overall throughout the season with Optima. So there's a very good chance you'll see him in Vegas. Obviously, nobody's been chosen yet, but it's looking very promising.
I just want to throw this out there real quick. Jeff is registered for Jeff Gordon, that is registered for both Summit Point and Virginia, and he is sitting on that bubble spot of 7th place.
Yep. Been watching that. It's looking good for Jeff too. He's crushing it.
Not many people can say that they signed Jeff Gordon, and we've got the
we got him.
Like
the Jeff Gordon. Yep.
The Jeff Gordon, not that Rainbow Warrior weirdo.
DuPont Chevrolet.
The
whatever.
The Jeff Gordon. He ain't got nothing on freaking our Jeff Gordon. He rocks that cone ball.
Yeah. GTV class was fun to watch. So coming in third place, Brent Madison in his 68 Camaro, 417 points. Rick Ray had a really good weekend in his 71 Camaro with coming in at second place was 463. And then Ryan Breezy comes out on top again, just like he did at Thunder Hill. And I can't remember, how did he do in Laguna Seca?
Which one? Who?
Ryan Breezy.
Laguna Seca, he had 436 points. It looks like. I think he took second there to Brian Hobaugh.
Yep. Well, he had a good weekend out at Portland. He took top for GTV with 475 points. For GTV, Rick Ray ended up getting the invite in his 71 Camaro.
Nice. So, dude, Rick, that's awesome.
Yeah, he was really fast all weekend. He did really good in D&E. I remember him going into turn one on the road course. He was always one of the smoothest ones through there. So Rick was up this weekend.
He's a very, very smooth driver, man. He definitely he puts it down, but he's not erratic or anything like that. He's a very, very good driver.
Yeah, for sure.
Marky Mark, what's up, dude? Good Lovin's coming in hot.
We got a comment.
All right, let's see. Paul Brimmeyer is talking about Jeff's car. Rear inside wheel taps on tight turns under hard braking like a dog being petted in the right spot. Dude, he's got that freaking car is so tight. And you know what's nuts about the Cobalt is the rear suspension is actually a solid axle. It's a front-wheel drive car, but it's still a solid axle in the rear. So it's got some quirks, which is why it's even more impressive that the car does as well as it does, because that tire comes off the ground every corner he digs into. It's nuts. His front tire is just screaming at him to hold it.
All right, moving on. GTT class. So in third place, it's Josh. I practiced this before we came on. Warzachowski in the 69 F100. He got 420 points. He had a pretty good weekend. I
love that truck, man. It's
so
such a good job, that truck, dude. It's a good looking truck.
Yeah, and you could tell that the D&E judges, they were truck guys. If you look at the D&E scores, all of the trucks are within the top 10.
That's funny.
And I mean, you could also argue, I mean, they deserve it. Like Josh's F100 is immaculate.
Dude, it's clean, man. That thing is such a good looking truck.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful truck. So anyway, he got 420 points. David Carroll in his 74 Blazer with 454 points coming in second. And then Dustin Reed in that 72 C10 with 465. That C10 is it's something else, man.
Dude, it definitely is, dude. It's beautiful. What's nuts though is if you look at this past year, Dustin Reed and David Carroll have sat there and been back and forth all year. Thunder Hill, David Carroll beat him by 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a little better showing at Laguna Seca. David did over Dustin. He got by about 30 points there. But then you move forward to Portland where they ran it, and Dustin got him by 11 points there. They are separated in the points for the GTT class, 904 to 900. Dustin Reed has a slim lead in the overall points this year, which is just unbelievable. Like I said, those guys are just tearing it up, running away with the truck class, but they're right on each other's heels every single event.
Yeah. So Dustin took it up Portland. The funny part is that when they were going to do the invite, is that the top 3 all had invites, right? And so Hondo Miller had some mechanical issues over the weekend, so he was already on his way home. So Jimmy Day calls him, and Hondo Miller got the invite to Vegas. So that was pretty cool.
That's definitely cool.
Moving on to the GTS class. So in third place, we got Brent Larson in his 2016 Z06 with 468 points. This class was pretty funny. So third place, 468 points. Second place, Coda Atwood in his 2022 Tesla 3 Performance, 468 points. So they tied. So the Optima team, they went to a tiebreaker, and they tied the tiebreaker. So they went to the double tiebreaker, and then Coda Atwood pulled it out. And then at the top, just like he usually is, Bob Sobey in his 2013 GTR. Had a good
Bob Sobey's got that dude. That dude brings it home, man. That's awesome. So what was the second tiebreaker they used for Coda and Brad?
To be honest with you, I have no idea, because usually they usually do D&E is the first tiebreaker.
I'd have to dig it. Yeah, D&E is the first tiebreaker. I'd have to dig in the rule book. I'm not familiar with the tiebreaker portion of the rule book. I tell you rules on safety gear because I'm, going to make sure everybody has what they need. But let's see. I'm going to pull this up now because I'm interested.
Okay, cool. You pull that up.
Pull that up and keep going. I'm going to pull this up. I'll bring it up as I find it.
Cool. So Brad Larson coming in the third place. He got the invite in his 2016 Z06. Coda Atwood and Bob already had theirs, so that was awesome.
All right, so found the tiebreaker. Autocross time. Fastest autocross time is the second tiebreaker.
Fastest autocross time. Okay.
So I'm going to ask Jimmy this, because what if there's a third tiebreaker? What if they go and they ran identical autocross times? It's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, I've seen it.
Dude, at some point you just got to flip a coin. At some point you just say,
at some point you two are going to run on foot from here.
Facts. Yeah, facts, man.
You know what? We're gonna switch this up. I'm gonna recommend this to Jimmy. We go to a third tiebreaker. Who can do the most push-ups in 2 minutes?
Yeah, if that's fair, you just get an Army PT test.
Yeah, man. We're gonna bring this to Optima. We're gonna bring it to USCA. I think it's gonna sell really well.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But that was kind of funny to watch. They went to the tiebreaker and they tied, and they went to the second tiebreaker. That was fun. GTL class. Ricky Lammy in the 77 Datsun. That was cool to watch.
I talked to him right before the event, and I'm like, dude, you've got this, man. You're gonna bring home the freaking prize. Get your invite, and he sure enough did, man. Ricky, if you're watching, he is. He commented on the carbon fiber for the C10. Yeah, dude, it was so awesome to see that on the invite. Hate that there was some mechanical defects that came with it, but definitely awesome to see him bring home that invite.
Yeah, way cool. So Ricky Lammy came in third. He got the invite. He had 413 points. Terry Breezy in his 08 Z06, he got 419 points. So just a few points ahead of Ricky. He already had his invite. And then at the top is Lane in the 2015.
So not only did he take top spot in GTL like he has every event this year, he's run 4 and he's won every one of them. He also took overall win with points. Now, it's going to take a lot to dethrone Bob Sobey from champion this year at the Invitational, but I'm not going to lie, man. If there's someone that's going to be able to do it, it's going to be Lane. The dude is on fire this year. He's got his average right now for points this year is like 487. I have to do the math. But he won at Thunder Hill with 475. He won at Laguna Seca with 481. He won at Road America with 486, and he wins at Portland with 492. The dude has been running at the top of GTL, and he's
on fire.
Dude, he's 126 points ahead of second place Terry Breezy. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah. Dude,
Lane's crushing it, man.
Yeah, I'm also really excited. He's going to be out at King of the Mountain this year too. Super excited to see him out there.
I wish I was going to make it, man. I will. The rest of this August is kind of I'll be on a plane more than I'll be stationary, and unfortunately won't be able to make it to King of the Mountain. That's going to be awesome. I think he's going to do well up there. That car his Porsche is very well rounded, and it is
extremely dialed in.
It's dialed in, man, and he's got it. And UMI's a little bit different place, but a guy like Lane, where he's shown success literally every track he's been to, I think he's going to do well there.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. They asked him if he had any mechanical issues, and he said, "I just put air in the tires."
Air power racing with air in the tires.
Yeah. So GTC class, this was fun to watch. Third place, Jordan Phillip in the 2003 Corolla with 407 points. Second place was Matt Davis in that 04 Pontiac Vibe. That's just like a death vibe, man.
Dude, that thing is so cool. I'm not going to lie, man.
Yeah, he's got the bad vibe on the back window. He got 426 points, and then Austin Keys showing out in the 08 S2000 with 440 points.
Nice, man.
Yeah, Austin already had his invite, so the invite went to Matt Davis in the 04 Vibe. So we'll see him down in Vegas.
And
then finally, the GT class. Man, the GT class had 6 cars in it. It
was a light field for GT this week.
Yeah, six cars in GT. Chris Portnoy. Chris Percorny. Sorry, I'm thinking the Barstool Sports guy. In his 92 Mustang with 427 points. Mustang Mike coming in second place with 442. And then regular ass Mustang Matt Ramirez coming in first for GT with 488 points. Matt and Lane were duking it out for overall up until the last run on the last day there.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, still a great day for Matt. He was at the top all weekend long.
488 is no slouch when it comes to points. Same thing with Matt, though. You look at his scores for this year, 478, a 474, and a 488 for his 3 events he's ran. What's nuts about this, as well as Matt has run, Dave Schatz is 19 points ahead of him, and Dave has 477, a 491, and a 494 on his points for the 3 events he's ran. But Dave is freaking lightning fast as well. So it's gonna be awesome to see these guys in Vegas just go at it, because I mean that is a tough class. And you look at where those 2 guys are running. I mean, they're Matt's 50 points ahead of Brian Riley, who is a freaking phenomenal driver as well. So like, Vegas is going to be an awesome event, man. These guys are going to be just beating each other up on track. It's going to be great.
Yeah, man. I really hope that we're both able to make it out there. That'd be a blast to go out there and hang out. Shoot, maybe you'll be in it with our mystery event that we got coming up.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's keep this quiet, dude.
Yeah.
Keep this quiet. Nobody knows anything. You're letting cats out of the bag that we can't.
You got to have some build up.
All I'm saying is that when we show up at VIR, it will be a surprise. It will be a big surprise. So Stay tuned. And if you want to find out what it is, go to VIR or wait till after everything gets published. Oh man, no, but we got Goodlovin and Chris Brown both locked in with their invites. Mm-hmm. And then the Jeff Gordon and Timo Timmy are running hard, and they're hopefully will be able to earn their invites in this. I'd love to see them earn their invites at some point, but we'll have to wait till VIR is complete before we know whether or not Jeff's going to get in, because I've got to wait for the end of season results for the Outlaw class. But he's looking really good. And then let's take a look. So for Jeff in Outlaw, Out of who's left and registered, Ronald Merlino is registered to run with him, and they tied at Road America. So that's that's the outlier right there on these last couple events. So we'll see. I mean, how those two shake out could determine who's going and who's not going. So that's going to be a pretty stiff battle. Merlino's in a 04 350Z, and he ran really well at Road America. I mean, those guys both tied at 396 each. So
396. I'm looking at that too. Wow.
Yeah. The other outlier that we don't really know much about right now is Justin Peachy. So he's registered for Summit Point and VIR. He did run into some issues over this past weekend at a Grid Life event, and whether his car gets there or not, we'll see.
Yeah.
So Robert Weather says, hoping Austin Barnes makes Summit Point and scores big points to qualify if he's able to go. Him and Maddie are expecting twins that time. That's awesome. First off, big congrats to Austin on the future edition coming at twins, man. That's cool. You guys might have to, trade that Mustang in for like a Chevy SS or something. Those extra back seats. That's cool. So Summit Point, let's take a look at that. So Austin and GT at Summit Point. For GT class at Summit Point, let's see here. James Thomas is registered. Chris Brown is registered. Chris has already got his invite. Timo Timmy is registered. Angel Calls registered. Harisha Vula is registered. Jade Barron registered. John Blevins. John Blevins lightning fast. Dude's a phenomenal driver. He's registered there as well as VIR. So I would not be surprised to see him bringing enough points on both those events to get his invite. Michael Johnson, another fast driver. He is also registered for Summit Point and VIR. So it'd be interesting to see. And then we've got John Kiefer in a 2017 6-gen. Kong Chang in a 2017 Mustang. And then Luke Vinot in a Dodge Challenger registered for both VIR and for Summit Point. So it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out, and kind of where the points lie.
Yeah, quite a few invites still hanging out there. Quite a few to grab.
Yeah, so there's quite a few left, and it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see where the invites go. Who was able to podium and get the invites on these last couple events, but then postseason, as they take a look and the at-larges get sent out to who's going to get picked up. That's how like Chris Brown got in last year. He earned enough points through the season to where he didn't get an invite at a race, but he got his invite through points at the end of the season. So it'll be interesting to see where the rest of the field shakes out. Yeah,
it was, even though there was adversity this weekend in Portland, it was cool to see a lot of the people that deserved to go to Vegas get their invite. So it's kind of solidified the season for most of the West Coast crew, but it was awesome to see like the guys that got the invite and going to Vegas. So and luckily the issues, a lot of the issues that came up with the guys that got the invite, they have time to get it fixed before Vegas. So it's better it happened in Portland than at SEMA. So yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, SEMA is 5 through I think it's 5 through 8 November, 5 through 9 November is for the invite and the invitational. Looking at now end of July right now, that's a good bit of time to fix any potential issues that came up, and if you're trying to throw a motor in the car or dealing with a transmission issue or whatever, it gives you some time to do a little bit of tuning, some test and tune, local events before you get to the big stage. So
yeah.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, we had David Kruk on last week. He got an invite at the Motor State Challenge, so big congrats, man. He got a Spirit of the Event invite from the Motor State Challenge last week, so that was awesome to see.
Nice, man. That's gonna be a haul. He's gonna be driving.
Yeah, man. Well, some of these dudes are coming from like clear across the country. I mean, Dave Schatz came to Sebring for the first event of the year. He's out of Arizona. I mean, Sebring is central, almost southern Florida. So
yeah.
Brian Riley's saying that he needs to go to VIR and steal some points. So I'd say do it, man. Do it.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Dude, make it out there and freaking own it. It is the Patriot course, so that is the little guy, which Some people like that. Some people don't. I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. So, here's the thing I noticed from afar, right? A lot of adversity. Talked to a few people over the weekend just to check in, see how the guys were doing and whatnot. I think the biggest thing that I noticed is I never once heard anyone, regardless of how big of a catastrophe they dealt with on, whatever they dealt with at the event. Not one of them put on any kind of a pout face or dealt with any, got pissed off or anything like that. Every one of them was in good spirits, and it was really awesome to see that.
Yeah, that and the community around the people that were going through adversity.
Yeah.
Like, it's every single person almost offered to help. Like, what can I do? So it's just an awesome community, man. And like, it's something that obviously these type of things are going to happen, but just the response from drivers and other competitors is what makes the community what it is. It's just fun to be around, having fun in the sport. It's just all around awesome to be a part of. Yeah,
it really is, man. And just to show the attitudes that a lot of these guys have, I mean, that's a huge thing right there. So definitely something to really talk about and showcase. The community at large is an awesome community, and we're happy to be a part of it. And just to see the attitudes that come from it. I mean, we don't have to be racing. We're very fortunate to be able to race and do these things. And, bad attitudes, I don't know. They don't jive well, and you don't see that at all in this. So
no, you don't see it a lot either.
Hats off to the competitors for that, man. That's really awesome. Brian says they need at least one West Coast driver out there to represent. Ooh, man, you're bringing some pain trying to bring the West Coast out to the East, man. That's some serious effort right there, man.
Yeah. We saw what happened last time. Well, I mean, I guess Road America is kind of central. I guess
central,
mostly East, but
central. Dave Schatz put down the power and said, "I'm owning this. This is my race."
Yeah.
He took it and sent it.
Yeah.
Oh man, he pulled a Steph Curry on everybody and drained a shot court, dude.
Yeah. Brian, let the East Coast guys have some fun. Don't do it.
So, Braden, are you saying that the West Coast guys are faster than the East Coast now? Are you picking sides?
We're not. No, I'm not picking sides. I'm a disinterested third party that is located on the West Coast.
Right, let the East Coast have some fun, man.
Well, they have to.
I mean, if Brian goes out there and cleans house, I mean, it would pretty much cement a lot of this debate back and forth that we keep hearing about.
Yeah, that's fair.
Brian says that he pleads the fifth. I don't know though. It'll be interesting. See, when we had that debate, it got kind of opened up. It was more than just East and West. We had no coast, which is kind of your north middle flyover states. And then Robert Weathers brought up that we have Texas. And then I asked, where do I fit in? Because I'm on the Tampa side of things. And he's like, Gulf Coast, man. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take that. Gulf Coast.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, my biggest goal is living down here in Florida is not becoming Florida man in the news.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. 2 more events, man. I wish there was more. It's been a blast this year, hanging out with the Optima crew, hanging out with all the drivers. It's just fun.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait to go drive out there with y'all. It's just been a blast. So it's Matt, East-West Bragging Rights Trophy. Facts.
Oh!
We should do a East and West bragging.
I think we'll have to make an East-West type trophy.
Yeah.
Timmy, if you're still watching. So Tim and Jeff and the rest of the Gordon family, we're going to call them the Gordon clan. All right. The Gordon clan, they are all vacationing at a southeastern hotspot on the Atlantic right now. So Tim, if you're watching, when you get done with that vacation, we need a trophy design. Some sort of a East-West bragging rights trophy. And here's the deal. I think if we do this trophy, it's not a permanent trophy. It travels to whoever wins it that year, kind of like, a fantasy football thing or whatever. And whoever wins it gets to add something to it of their own choosing. So we'll start with the base trophy.
Mm-hmm.
The winner gets it at SEMA, and then they got to pass that thing on to the next year, and they can add whatever accoutrement that can do that. Most drivers within top 10 per class. I can dig that.
Yeah. So the East versus West Coast bragging rights trophy, that will go to the overall winner. Who does that go to?
It could. I don't know. We'll have to flesh this out. We'll have to see.
We'll throw up a post. We'll let the people decide.
Yeah, we'll throw up a post. We'll give you some votes. Let the people decide, and we'll even give you the option to write in.
Yeah, have them write in, and then every single one of the people on the other coast have to get a trophy that says I lost or something like that.
We'll give them a trophy of a bent wrench.
A bent wrench.
Be like, when you get the wrench, you're trying to like take the struts off, and it's usually like a freaking 22 millimeter bolt, and the thing doesn't want to budge and pops off and domes you in the forehead. It doesn't bend from doming you in the forehead. It bends because you threw it across the shop.
Facts. Yeah, I've had those a lot of times. But
yeah, dude, East versus West race at Road America. We did do that, so that we could do it there. But I think since we just thought of this idea tonight, we'll come up with this, and we will post this up, and it'll be at SEMA, since we'll have a pretty good mix of East and West there as well. Robert Weather says that we hope to have NOLA back next year. That'll be huge, dude. I have heard nothing but awesome things about that track. I wanted to go there. Yeah, we'll definitely see where the list shakes out. I have not heard any rumors for potential tracks for next year yet. So, Jimmy, if you're watching, hint, start the rumor train, man. I mean, we'll start a rumor train. We heard that there's going to be a new track on the thing.
Yeah.
One that no one's ever been to before. We're going to start the rumor here just for kicks and giggles. So everyone, when we get off tonight, text Jimmy and ask him, so what's this new track for next year that we've never heard about?
That's a good idea.
And Jimmy, you can be pissed at me.
Oh, that's funny, dude.
We'll even post up Jimmy's phone number, 867-5309.
Funny.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll say it's Indy. Oh yeah, we're starting this.
I heard that they were going to use the Nashville Grand Prix course where they closed down half the city for it. You get to run on the streets.
Oh yeah, dude, we're starting this for sure.
No, dude. We'll see. I mean, Jimmy's from Nashville, so I think that's a valid idea. It's going to be an August event. It's going to be in conjunction with the the Music City Grand Prix. You get to watch the stadium trucks and everything, and then they're going to also do this.
Yep.
You'll be racing on the streets. Love rumors, because you can say whatever you want. You're not really lying. You're just talking about potentials.
Yeah, it's my pastime, dude. Starting rumors.
No, I know. Robert Weathers says that Eagle Canyon needs to be looked at.
These are all great ideas.
Dude, David Kruk says the F1 course at SEMA. You know what? I would say yes to that, except for when they built it, that destroyed like 3 cars from manhole covers flipping up in the track.
Oh, dude, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, dude. Like last year at SEMA, they were putting the course together for it, and then when they finally got it done in a race, there was like all sorts of issues. It was a shit show.
Dang. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty rough. Okay, so we'll say yes, it is the F1 course at SEMA.
Yeah. Jimmy, if you're not watching, you're missing out.
Yep.
Matt says F1 Vegas too. All right.
So it's a consensus. We're saying
it's there. It's done.
Awesome.
Your laps, your parade laps to go familiarize yourself with the course are during the parade for SEMA on the last day when everybody does their little thing.
That's funny,
this
dude.
Is good, man.
Yeah, so we got some stuff to start figuring out. We'll figure out an East versus West trophy.
Yep.
We'll solidify our rumor mill to drive Jimmy Day crazy.
Yep.
And then coming up on these next few events. When is King of the Mountain?
24 through 25 through 27 August. It's the last weekend in August.
Okay. So that's kind of like the next big one for the OSS crew, huh?
Yeah, now Summit Point's the next big one. We got 3, I think 4 guys are running. So we've got Tim, Jeff, Chris, and Brian all registered for Summit Point.
Nice. Good. Good.
B ran Pico.
Oh, B-Rye, dude.
Yeah, man. He's registered as well. So yeah, I've got pretty much everybody. Let's see. I think that's the only one that Brian's running this year, though. I don't know if he's running VIR. I'm trying to look through the list. I can't remember if he registered or not. I know we've talked about it. Yeah, he is. Brian's also registered for VIR. So.
Oh, nice, man. That'll be good. I'm excited to watch old B-Rye in that.
Hell yeah, dude! And the old 68, man. Car's looking good.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Well, good shit, man.
Gordon Automotive Specialties did him up right.
Dude, Gordon does everybody right.
Oh yeah, 100%,
dude. Wait till you see Chris Brown's car in person, man. Holy crap!
Really?
No, dude. Like, he sent pictures to the group when he was painting the roll cage because the roll cage looks amazing. There was so much tinfoil tape and freaking paper up inside of that car. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
I'll bet he spent more time taping the damn thing off than he did actually painting it.
Yeah.
And with Chris's car, he's got all that Anderson composites. He's got the Anderson doors, the fenders, everything on that, man. And Jeff did a really good job with his paint that he did on the doors itself too, because you can see some of the carbon fiber in there as it fades into the purple and everything that Chris has got into the orange. And dude, it's just a very well done job. Man. He did phenomenal work on that car. So.
Yeah, I know where my S10's going.
Yeah, dude. For you West Coasties, we're gonna call you Coasties, kind of like Swifties. So
I'm not with him. I don't agree with him.
For you Westies, if you want some legit paint work, man, you got to hit up Jeff Gordon. Yes, it's a haul. You're gonna have to get your car to Pennsylvania somehow, but the dude is absolutely amazing. So that's our shout out tonight for Jeff at Gordon Automotive Specialties. Get you some gas. But yeah, man, awesome weekend. Again, I hate to hear the issues that people had over the weekend. That really does suck. But I'm really just it's an honor to be a part of a group like this. Like I said, where not one person had a pouty, pissy attitude about any of it. They were very, very good spirits after all this stuff. So
everybody found light in the situation. Man.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And I'll tell you this too, man. Every time we get ready to log off, we get a bunch of people that kick up in here and start watching again. So our viewership just ticked up. But if you didn't catch all this, you can either rewind and watch it, or you can check it out on Spotify after we post it. It'll be up there in about an hour or so. So yeah, man. On that note, dude, Braden, always awesome.
Joshua.
Yeah, dude, always awesome. And if you guys need anything, give us a shout, and we will square you away. Sales@ossparts.com, ossparts.com, or hit us via Facebook Messenger.
Yeah,
we got a question that popped in. Robert Weathers coming in with a last-minute question. What's east, what's west? Mississippi dividing line? We will get a map out, and we will draw this out. Honestly, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to look at this. We'll see where everyone's coming from, and we'll probably cut it in the middle of competitors. So it's like equal numbers on both sides. We can't let anybody stack up. Sorry. So we're not going to let West stack up on everybody because technically speaking, they've got more.
To be determined, Robert.
Yeah.
We'll look
the Great Divide. Yeah. You know what? The dividing line will be the border along Nevada and Utah. So Lane, Brian, all you guys,
you're Easters.
East Coast.
Yep. Congratulations, Utah. You're Easter.
Utah drivers. That includes Jordan Priestley, Coda Atwood, all those guys. You guys. East.
Yep. It is decided.
Oh man, that's too funny.
No, that's funny, dude.
Heck yeah, man. Well, dude, awesome being on here. I will see you guys at Camaro Fest if you're coming. If not, follow along. We'll be posting pictures up. I'll be running the autocross out there, and it's going to be an awesome event. So dare me to drive the car to SEMA. David, I want you to drive the car to SEMA. I definitely want you to drive the car to SEMA. I'm not even going to dare you. I'm just going to say do it. Just do it. I mean, send it, man. All right, guys. On that note, it's been good. It's been fun. Thank you. And we will talk soon. We'll see you guys next week.
Later, everybody.